YouTube? It's your boy, the Memphis XL, right back at you. Well, check this out. The show, we take a look at whatever deck we want to take a look at. Have ourselves a good time. Today, everybody, we're taking a look at a blast from the past. We're taking a look at a deck I'm calling Watt Lock Shock, which is a combination of the Watt archetype, an archetype of low-level monsters that like to attack directly to gain their effects. We've got our Watts to shock our opponent with their attacks, and we've got a little bit of a lockdown sort of esque feel here, just trying to stall our opponents enough that we can get our damage in and go for the gold. So, we got ourselves our deck here today. I'm going to be showing it off on EDO Pro, showing you how it works, the cards, the combos, the ins and outs of how this deck works. So, let's go ahead into the list of the cards we are going to be using, and then go into them duels. So for our main deck today, we have one copy of the Artifact Scythe, two copies of Thunderous Seahorse, three copies of Mahunder, three copies of Watt Giraffe, our boss monster. We have three copies of Honest, three copies of Watt Pheasant, three copies of Watt Cobra, one Watt Kiwi, and one Watt Fox. We have three copies of Photon Sanctuary, three copies of Watt Train, a Monster Born and Call of the Grave, two copies of Photon Lead, one copy of Double O Nothing, two copies Storming Mirror Force, two copies Artifact Sanctum, two copies of Trap Trick, and three copies of Solemn Johnson. As for the X deck, we have things like Masquerena, Hip Hoshiningen, one Line of the Light Charmer, we have Access Code Talker, a Mekk-Knight Crusadia of Gramax, one copy of Underworld Goddess of the Closed World, we have Utopia Double, Gaga Cowboy, Bujinte Tsukuyomi, one copy of Evil Swarm Excita Knight, one Baguska, one number 39, one AA Zeus, and one each of Watt, Chimera, and Hydra. As for the side deck, there's a few things. If you want to try for more synchros, I would recommend like 7s, any 7s or 6s. You do need to be careful though, because of Sanctuary, you can't use it for material for synchros. It locks you into light monsters, so you might want to focus towards more like light synchro monsters, which there's not a lot of those, but we have things like Dawn Dragster if you want things like that, or just a Black Rose Dragon to nuke the field. You also have Utopia Lightning. If you're drawing into Double or Nothing too often, this could be useful just so that your Utopia is not dead in your deck. If Zodiac Drident ever comes back off the ban list again, consider a small Zodiac engine for a quick pop of your opponent's cards. There's things like some Summer Summoner, which can summon out our Thunder monsters from the graveyard. If they Watt was ever made that does anything coming out of the graveyard, this would be a very nice card. Since our extra deck, we use it, but we don't abuse it, you could consider Pot of the Extravagant in order to get more draws. If you want to really double down on locking your opponent out, there's many an option. I'm still too human to play Mystic Mind Watts, maybe another day. But things like Summon Limit to restrict your opponent's summons, but without completely destroying them, this could be a nice option. There's also things like Watt Cancel, which, other than just having the funny image of Ojama Yellow getting electrocuted, is the Watt's counter trap to stop your opponent from summoning things. Although it does require you to discard cards, which is something we don't often have the benefit to do. But regardless, that's the deck today. We're going to now go out into EDO Pro, the Wild West of Yu-Gi-Oh! We're going to show this deck off, show you how it works, and hopefully we'll have ourselves a good time. Alright, here are the first opponent. Another day, another card game, as I fix the eye on this hat that I refuse to fix for some reason. And we want to go first as often as humanly possible. Going first in Watts is actually pretty important. Let me tell you. Me and my opponent, we don't want to agree on that, but okay, well, he'll unfortunately get to go first. Not ideal. Like I said, Watts, you really want to go first. It's not because they're bad. It's because everything else just wants to kick you in the tail. Oh, hey, 2 free draws. Thank you. I appreciate it. Hey, that makes it better than I... Okay. Oddly enough, I have an out for this. I don't have any spell trap removal, but I have an out for this. Specifically, in my hand right now. So we're up against a D-board deck. Ooh, Destiny board. Nobody can say no to a Destiny board deck. Those are always enjoyable for some reason, even though it's a stall deck. It's one of the more enjoyable ones. kind of like what we do. We stall a bit, but you know what? It's more out of necessity than anything. So what we're gonna do here, we're gonna activate our Photon Sanctuary. Very nice spell. I get 2 tokens. They are Photon tokens. They're nice and big. More importantly, they're thunder monsters, and that's very important for our Watts train, which we'll use in a moment. We're going to summon Watt Giraffe. He's kind of the boss of this archetype. Basically, if he attacks directly, which he can do normally, and he does damage, my opponent can't do anything until the end of the turn. Very nasty for just stopping my opponent from doing stuff. And we're going to play Watt's Train. This is the only piece of support Watts have had in years, but it's still a goodie. Basically, I can add Watts from my deck to my hand with different names, equal to the number of Thunders I control with different names, which I currently control 2. So I can add 2 monsters. I probably should have gotten the Fox too, but that'll work just as well. Let's see. My opponent doesn't have any monsters, so that's not that purple. We're just going to go for Hipposhidingen. Because I like this dude. He's got big boots. He got big boots. He's got to walk with them big old boots. So we're going to attack our opponent with the giraffe. If we're fortunate enough to not hit, if it's a heads. So yeah, that'll do the damage with Watt Giraffe. Activating his effect. So now my opponent, unless he has something to stop this, like that. How does this card work again? If they call it right. Tails never fails. Damn it. Tails failed. How? How could Tails fail? Alright, so he just keeps that forever. Do I want to risk killing my own giraffe? Nah, I don't need to do that. In fact, I can make this work even better for me. So, get interrupted there, but you get the idea. You go Watt Giraffe, attack your opponent directly. They can't do anything till the end phase. And then you can just run over with everybody else, because most of the Watts that you will normally run can attack directly. You're lucky I had to spare one of those, young man. You're very lucky. Oh gosh, we're still okay. I got several Watts I can summon off Watt Train. Watt Train, it's a very nice card. Nah, we're good. Yeah, like I said, it's a very nice card. You search out a bunch of Watts, and then turn after, you can banish it, summon all the different named Watts from your hand. It's a bit too slow. I really don't think Watts needed that restriction. It's mostly for modern gameplay, how people do things. I don't personally like it, but it's what it is. Yeah, no Utopia Lightning for you, young man. No, that'll not be allowed. All right, ooh, another Watts Train. Nice. All right, so let's go for Watts Train numero dos. We're going to summon 1, 2, 3 monsters. Watt Pheasant, who can banish things. Watt Kiwi, who's dummy thick. And Watt Cobra, the Searcher. And then we're going to activate another one. I don't care if this is imperm. I blatantly challenge your impermanence. That's what I thought. All right, so now I can just basically add the rest of my deck to my hand. I should have got the Cobra, but this is fine. And let me think about this. So this is just still there, but if I go for access code Talker, I shouldn't need to worry about it, right? Let Memphis think about this. Oh, I can still summon Watt Giraffe, though. Okay, we'll give it a shot. Oh, and I can also make Watt Hydra, though. Ah, that's so tempting. Okay. We're going to summon Watt Fox. Watt Fox, mate? Watt Fox, indeed. What does the fox say? The fox says, let's make... wait a minute. I want to make another... Better to have 2 links in the grave for this. That way I can just do more with Accessco Talker. Hachumba. So we'll summon Big Booty Spearman, as he likes to be called in his off time. And that'll allow me to just out my opponent's, lock that he's doing. So let's get rid of the Dark Sanctuary, because that's really annoying. And we'll get rid of... I'm still worried about this. I'm going to get rid of the face down. That's more Dice reroll. Interesting. All right, let's go for the battle phase. So attack with our access code talker, and this way we can put some damage on. And I'm really glad this is all. I mean, I feel a little bad. This is just a casual sort of like, I guess it's a D board, or is it just like a gamble deck? I feel bad beating up the gamble player, but in the world of Watts, we take no prisoner. Not even you, my friend. Alright, so head judging will activate yet again. So, if they call it right, send the tails. Yeah, that time it worked. I keep forgetting to get the Cobra, but that's fine. You know what? Let's mildly dunk on our opponent. I will do what few would dare to do, and summon Wat Hydra, who is technically the boss of this archetype, but not really, because he's literally Gold Sarcophagus, but worse, because he's a Synchro monster with 1,500 attack points. But you know what? It's what it is. Okay, show me time, wizard. Okay, that's close. It's the Gambler of Legend. At least he's trying something here. So what's the bad roll? 3 heads? I mean, that won't work on Access Code Talker no more. That's Masquerano's job. Alright, well, my opponent gambled and he lost. A good effort, my friend. But unfortunately for you, I had Solemn Johnson on my side, which is better than having Lady Luck on your side. So, you get an idea of what this deck is about. It was a little roundabout how we had to go about it, but essentially what you do is you hit your opponent just enough to stop them from running you over, and then you run them over. And it doesn't always involve Access Code Talker. So let's go ahead for duel number 2. Show off more what this deck can do, summon out more of the Watts, try to get Watt Pheasant to banish somebody, Giraffe to stun somebody, stuff like that. Alrighty, second opponent, let's go and do it again. Yeah, paper usually works, but sometimes it doesn't, but rock never fails. Alright, so what do we have for an opening hand? I mean, this one is dummy thick. That might be useful. Alright, so we're going to play our Photon Sanctuary. We don't have any of our traps, sadly, but I do have an Honest. He's the original light monster trap. Just be like, hey, I've got Honest. What do you have? We're going to go for our Watt Train, of course. My opponent might have something, hard to say. And let's see, I'm getting a Giraffe. Let's get a Pheasant. Just get the best of the Watts. You know, these are really the best Watt monsters. They all attack directly. They all do something. And that's all we need. So, here, Ningen. I really wish I could use those tokens for synchro material, but they're part of an old set. Back in the day when, this is like from Xyz's era. Photons. Yeah, that's Xyz's era. So, they were made during a time when, like, early Xyz cards said, you can't use this for synchro material. Kind of like Gaga Magician and other things like that. So, can't do it, unfortunately. Would be nice. Would be nice, but it's okay. So, what are we up against? Blackwings. Alright. Blackwings, that's a hard one. Blackwings are pretty tough. Luckily, he only has the 1 whirlwind. If he had 2 whirlwinds, I'd be dead. If he had 3, I would be skipping ahead to the 3rd duel, because, you know, if Blackwings have 3 of them things, you're not going to have a good time. With 1, I feel like we have a chance. We have a chance. We have a shot in the dark, a shot in the arm. It all depends on how good of a Blackwing player this is. Because I can do some serious things, Blackwings, with the right setup. And he does get an additional normal summon. Yeah, because this is an additional thing. And let's see, what does this one do? Control Blackwing, special summon this card from the hand. Main phase, send this card with a non-tuner from the deck. Summon Blackwing to Dragon. Okay. So, with nothing to interact with my opponent right now, I'm going to go ahead and skip ahead until the battle phase. And we'll see if I have any monsters left, and I can use Honest to protect myself. So, I will be back in a moment. Alrighty, well, I thought it kind of went off for me. I mean, 1 copy Black Whirlwind, all this nonsense. It's a lot. I kind of want to get rid of this thing. What else does this do? So this doesn't do... That doesn't do anything, right? I'm going to go for Honest on the Red Dragon Arc Fiend, because I'd rather get rid of that rather than anything else. I just feel like that guy would be annoying. And at least this way, Hippo Shenangan will survive. Sadly, Watt Kiwi... For some reason, he negated Kiwi with Arc Fiend. I think he misread this. Watt Kiwi just stops my monsters from being destroyed in battle when they attack, not protect me when I'm being attacked. That would have been a good effect for me, but no, that's not how that works. Yeah, basically, he's stealing my attack for the turn because he has that option. And, okay, Photon Sanctuary, not bad. I can only summon Light, though. Yeah, that doesn't work for me. Let me think about this. So, I'm gonna summon all the boys. This boy, summon that boy, summon this boy. And I know I said I wouldn't do access code talker all the time, but I think I might have to. Although I could make... wait a minute. How much life points does this guy have? 6,100. You know, it would work probably just as well. Okay, so using these two monsters, be like, make Utopia double. Hey, yo, Utopia double. We're gonna use Utopia double's effect. Detach material. Get double or nothing, son. And then I can make Utopia. It'll be 3,000, 5,500, thanks to Hippo Shenangan. And so now what we can do is attack directly with Watt Giraffe, because Watts is the name of the game. Name of the game is Watt Giraffe. So we'll attack with the giraffe. That way my opponent can't do anything in response to what I'm about to do. And there you go. So we'll attack into the bore of the spear and negate ourselves. And okay, we're actually having ourselves a good time so far. I'm actually rather surprised. Last time I streamed this deck, it did not have a great time. But you know what? I think I've made it a little bit better. So, that'll be another win. I'm surprised we beat Blackwings. I guess he didn't have enough Black Whirlwinds after all. But there's an 11,000 point Utopia for all the fans out there. So, there you go. There's the Watts and the Shocks. That's good. I appreciate that. That's good. So we are able to somehow out Blackwings. Thank you, Honest. You are the MVP of that one. So let's go ahead for duel number 3. We're on a roll, and I appreciate it. Let's go for a third duel. Alrighty, our third opponent. We're on a roll somehow. Was not expecting Watts to be so effective in this day and age. I was hoping to get away with one win today. But I think we're going to be doing a little bit better than that, and I am proud of that. Unfortunately, I've drawn into double or nothing, which is something you never want to see happen, considering it doesn't do us much good. I can still play it with Utopia and get like a 5,000 beat stick, but it's not that great to draw into this. So, it's okay. It's okay. I still have Honest. Honest is all we need. Sushi ships. I feel so bad doing this. Sushi ships do not deserve this either. Although he might hit me with Ass Blossom, so totally respectable if he does. But Suships, that's a really cool arc. I really like Suships. Okay, I don't know why he did that. But yeah, Suships is a really cool archetype where they just like, they got the normal monster and then all the other monsters synergize with it. And he's just trying to summon out a bunch of Exige monsters. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to say no to that. I don't like to say no to that. But here's my one lock of the day. We'll go for Artifact Scythe Boy. And he's got his uni. Good old Gunkan Suships uni, which is like sea urchin, I believe. I'm not a sushi aficionado. I don't really care for sushi. I like fish. I like fish. Sushi, though, I'm not a big fan of. It's weird, I know. I'm a kind of a weird guy, if I couldn't tell. But, you know, he's got his uni. It's a really nice thing if he could have made that. with the other thing. And this is a 2K beat stick. So he could, in theory, beat over my Watt Giraffe. Weirdly, I couldn't solemn that. Not that I wouldn't. Not that I would have, but I could have. All right, so now it's our turn again. Watt Fazant, come forth. Alright, so remind me how this thing works. Reveal a Gunkan in your hand, especially on this card. So I do want to get rid of this thing. I do want to get rid of that thing. So let us battle phase and attack directly with a Watt Giraffe. He's the boss for a reason. Because he's legitimately the strongest Watt in the entire archetype. Like, the synchros don't stand a chance against this guy. He literally just stops your opponent from doing anything. And yeah, they can respond to him, but if they don't respond to him, then they're just playing out of luck. So attack into the Gunkan Suships Shoddy. Nope. Thanks for asking, but no. And I'm going to attack the Uni. Pheasant does have a nice effect. When he attacks directly, I can banish a monster on the field to the end turn. This has many uses. I can banish myself. Or, like, if I lost all my attack or something or got negated permanently, I could reset that. Or, more importantly, if my opponent had, like, I don't know, something with a bunch of equip cards on it, or an Xyz monster, it would lose all of its materials. Things of that nature. What is this? Shari Red IP. What does this one do? This is like the newest one, if I'm not mistaken. So we can special summon it. And then you can summon a Gunkan from the deck, except for itself, to get its effects. And then do an Xyz monster. Ooh. Pretty good. It's pretty good. I gotta say, I've always liked this archetype. It's just so... I feel like whoever made this was just hungry one day. Someone was just like, I haven't had lunch today. The corporate overlord is telling me I have to make more Fallen of Albaz cards, more branded stuff. I really don't want to, but they won't feed me until I do. I want to eat lunch. And that's when they said, oh, I'll just make a whole archetype about sushi. Then they'll let me go. Something like that. Something like that. All right. So I do need to stop the rank 5 one. That's like the dangerous one. That's the dangerous one. That's like a big problem if he summons it. All right, so I believe he can make. Oh, I thought he could like change the level, or is that the other? Oh no, wait. Yeah, he could have changed the level. I'm surprised he didn't. I'm actually really surprised he did not change the level with Uni, because it does say you can change it to level 4 or 5, and then you can add a Shari. Ooh. Solemn Johnson, meet Solemn Johnson's big brother. Which, yeah, maybe I shouldn't have done that, because, yeah, he still gets to gain... Or no, I take damage. I thought he gained life points. No, I take damage equal to the defense of his creature. Alright. And my opponent surrenders. I wasn't even going to dunk on him. I was just going to attack with all these. That was all I was... Well... 24, 34. Okay, maybe I would have done it a little. No, I could have gone for Gunkan Cowboy. Every time I want to go Cowboy. My opponent quits before I can. Alright, well. Unfortunate for my opponent, I had the one lock, but that's all I needed. Though, granted, he could have made the rank 5. I don't know why he didn't. Maybe I'm mistaken as to how that works. But regardless, let's go for one more. I feel lucky. I'm going to stretch my luck. Let's go for one more duel. Can we go undefeated somehow with Watts today? That's what I want to see. Alrighty, the fourth and final opponent of the day. Can we go all out? And can we go undefeated with Watts today? With this opening hand... maybe. Maybe. I don't know. I'm sure I'm pushing my luck going for a fourth duel today. I usually just do 3. But I'm feeling a little bit of adrenaline going. I'm feeling a little good because when I was testing this deck on stream, it did not do nearly as good. I have changed the deck slightly since then, and it kind of shows. But at the same time, I was not expecting us to do quite this well. But then again, it's doing fine today. Can I make Avermax from here? Oh, I can. I think I should do that, actually. It won't be the nice Avermax, but it's an Avermax. So, we got Monster Reborn. If you don't know what this card does, I'm sorry you didn't grow up in the early 2000s or whenever this was printed again. It was a long time ago, and if you don't know what it does. But I can revive a monster, and then make more monsters, and we'll make a nice, clean Avermax. Now, he will not have his destruction protection, but he's still untargetable. Can't be targeted, and so that's at least something. So he basically, you know, if he has Dark Hole, he can get rid of this. But if he doesn't have Dark Hole, we're good. If he summons something and tries to attack with a special summon monster, we is good, because I get bigger than any special summon monster. Plus, this protects all my monsters from, he can't attack my other monsters, and he's playing Fluffles. Fluffles. Let me think about what do Fluffles do. Well, I think Kraken is non-targeted, if I'm not mistaken. I could be mistaken. I played Fluffles. When did I play Fluffles last? Or I saw play Fluffles. I don't remember, but Kraken is like his one thing that might out of this that I can think of off the top of my head. I could be mistaken. But I don't think I'm mistaken about that. Target a card in the field and destroy. Yeah, this wouldn't have worked either. Alright, so Foolish Berry. Ah, yes, because he's got the wings. So my opponent does know what they're doing. Question is, which Fluffle will you sacrifice? Send a monster from the deck to the grave. Such a simple card. Such a brutally simple card that's just so powerful in today's game. Not strong enough to be banned. Was Foolish Barrel banned? I don't think it was banned ever. But it is at 1. For good reasons. But yeah, he's got Fluffle Wing. He can just banish the Dolphin, draw a card, get rid of Vendor, draw another card. Vendor will search him a card, so he's literally just getting 3 new cards. One of which he gets to pick. So Fluffle's brutally powerful deck. OTK deck, to be specific. The big question, though, is whether Kraken is a targeted thing. If it is, I am pretty much screwed. If it does not, or no, if it's targeted, we're good. If it's not targeted, then I'm dead, basically. As well, I do have the ability to spin things back once Avermax hits the grave. I don't know if that'll work after, so we'll see in a moment. Alrighty, so he did make the Kraken. Ah, it does target. Okay. It's just a send to the graveyard effect. It's not destruction, but it does target. Therefore, it doesn't do him jack. And that's all good with me. What else? We went to Edge Imp Sabre. Okay. Alright. Well, I'll give my opponent credit. He does seem to know what he's doing. It's just unfortunate for him. Avermax is a little bit too much for him. Unless he's got, like, something else that he can make. Which I don't think he does. What does Factory do? Banish a Poly. We can banish Poly to Fusion Summon. Ooh. I don't remember this card. What else does it do? This card sent to the grave. Target a banished Frightfur Fusion. Add to your hand. Interesting. And go for Sabertooth. Okay. I mean, if they had 3 materials, it would have been a problem, but it is not. Because, again, Kraken cannot affect Avermax because it cannot be targeted by things. Pretty powerful. Avermax is one of my favorite Link monsters. He's really good. He's one of the early ones, too, and my opponent surrenders. Anticlimactic, to be certain, although, to be fair, probably the right thing to do, because next turn, the Watts were coming to play, and he couldn't attack them or anything. I could just jump over it. Even if this was indestructible, I could have just attacked over it. So, there you go. Somehow. Let's go for the end screen before I ruin this. Alrighty, everybody at home, Watch, Shock, and Lock, by some miracle, went 4-0. Now, admittedly, I want to say 2 of the decks we went up against were more like casual things. Blackwings, That was all Honest. Like, if we didn't have Honest, I would have died right there. So, Honest was the MVP of that duel. And as for the Fluffle guy, really, Avermax was just too much for him. But through a crazy thing, we have gone 4-0. And I could not be happier. Who says Watts needs support? No, I still do. Watts still desperately needs support to make anything better in this game without needing lock cards, without needing negate. Well, might still need negates, but I don't really like having to play the artifact scythe too much, even though we really didn't use it that much. So, you know, some Nor Watt cards would be very much appreciated, Konami, at some point in the future. Maybe like 5 cards. I would settle for that. All right, so I hope everybody enjoyed seeing the Watts today. If you did like them, consider hitting the like button. It lets me know that you enjoy what I'm showing, enjoy what I do. Consider subbing if you haven't already. It's all up to you, of course. It's all good if you don't want to subscribe, but the like button at the least would I be appreciating very much. And next time, we're going to be looking at another Thunder-type archetype from Days of Old. We're going to be taking a look at Batteryman. So I hope to see you guys there when we do that. Your boy Memphis signing out. Until next time, y'all take care.